We invite you to watch how we clear the views on all matters through our partner station MITV on DSTV channel 255, 7 p.m. daily, and also our YouTube and Facebook pages under one name, Clearview News Desk every day. We call it The People's News, as we are available to come over and cover your events upon notice. Or do you have news you want us to broadcast? Send it in. We verify and go to town with it. All for you. Go ahead, engage us to thrash out those naughty issues on the news. And what we need from you is to share and subscribe. More important, convince your loved ones, friends, relatives, co-worshippers, and more to subscribe so as to be getting notifications as we break the news. Go a step further, like the news, and drop your thoughts on the comment section. Clearview News. We clear the view one time and for all time.
Hello and welcome to Clearview News Desk. We're reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. First, the headlines. Nigerian army detains personnel over murder of 16-year-old boy while attempting to stop hoodlums causing mayhem in Samaru Zaria of Kaduna State. Regional security tops discussion as ECOWAS kicks off 47 ordinary meeting of defense chiefs this Wednesday at Nigeria's defense headquarters in Abuja. Nigeria's Tobi Amusan through to 100 meters semi-finals at the 2024 Paris Olympics ahead of USA's Alicia Johnson and Janique Brown. I am Gloria Atta with these and more. Tobi Amusan began her quest for a podium finish in the 100 meters women hurdles event by winning her heat in a time of 12.49 seconds and qualifying for the semi-finals. Amusan, who is the current world record holder, was quicker than USA's Alicia Johnson in second with 12.61 seconds and Janique Brown in 12.84 seconds in heat 1. The time means Amusan finishes as the second overall fastest qualifier behind defending Olympic champion Puerto Rico Jasmine Camacho Quinn. Nigeria is yet to win a medal at this year's Olympics. Away from sports, the 42nd Ordinary Meeting of Defense Chiefs under the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has officially kicked off this Wednesday at the Defense Headquarters in Abuja, Nigeria's capital. Clearview's correspondent reports that the meeting is geared towards bringing discussions around regional security to the front burner, especially at this time when the bloc is considering the establishment of a force that will counter security challenges and bring peace to the region. We have the details. In this hall are top military leaders from the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS member states. They have converged for the 42nd Ordinary Meeting of the ECOWAS Committee of Defense Chiefs to brainstorm, analyze and strategize ways of addressing key security issues affecting the sub-region. Top on the agenda is the design of a roadmap for the establishment of the ECOWAS peace support missions for member states and the activation of ECOWAS standby force to counter terrorism and other forms of insecurity in the region. In his remarks, Nigeria's Chief of Defense Staff and Chairman, ECOWAS Committee of Defense Chiefs, General Christopher Musa said the complexity of the security landscape requires the sharing of intelligence across the region, while noting that the presence of the defense chiefs indicates commitment to shared interests for peace in the region.
We are all aware of the threats that confront our nations and regions. These threats include terrorism, insurgency, organized crimes, violent agitation, and recently unconstitutional takeover of government, to mention but a few. These challenges not only threaten our individual national security but also undermine the social fabric and socio-economic development of the entire region. Recent challenges like the military coup d'etat in some countries in the region have had unintended consequences and have threatened our collective democratic values. This trend must be discouraged as it negates our core responsibilities as military professionals. Let me therefore use this opportunity to emphasize that as democratic countries, we, the military, must uphold democratic values in line with our various constitutions. I am also optimistic that this meeting will assist us to prevent such abnormalities while strengthening our collective resolve to bring about peace and sustainable development to our region.
Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security, ECOWAS Ambassador Abdel Fattah Musa, stated that the 42nd Ordinary Meeting was delayed due to political developments ravaged by coups in the region. He added that the meeting will allow the chiefs to review the implementation of the decisions taken at previous meetings.
The convening of this ordinary session has therefore become pivotal, as it will allow us to review the evolving security environment with a view to repositioning the region's defense architecture and posture to adequately respond to the emergency before us.
In his remarks, the Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru Abubakar, noted that joint efforts in combating insecurity are vital in safeguarding the region. He therefore urged participants to engage in dialogues that will strengthen cooperation and regional capabilities.
As we convene here today, we are reminded of the profound significance of our work, which is to ensure the security of our sub-region. Let me remind us all that the security landscape of West Africa is presently marked by both complex challenges and opportunities for cooperation. Accordingly, joint efforts towards countering terrorism, managing cross-border crimes, hybrid threats, as well as enhancing regional security are vital to safeguarding our nations and promoting sustainable development.
As nations that constitute the ECOWAS, we in the Nigerian Parliament, the National Assembly of Nigeria, have remained committed to supporting the executive arm of government of Nigeria to ensure that necessary and needed resources, as will be required by ECOWAS, as far as Nigeria is concerned, are provided and approved.
The battle for the eradication of proliferation of small weapons is very key in terms of the entrenchment of our internal security mechanism. That is a major challenge that we have at this particular point in time. Let me also salute your courage for the relative stability that we are having within the region. Yes, it can be better, but the good thing is that we're not where we were. Of course, we are not yet where we want to be.
At the end of the previous meeting, last year August, the defense chiefs had agreed to a comprehensive and holistic approach towards political security and diplomatic dimensions in addressing the situation in Niger Republic. Of the 15 defense chiefs expected at this meeting, those of Cape Verde, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, Guinea-Bissau, and Togo were absent. Meanwhile, the Nigerian army has detained a soldier who killed a 16-year-old boy, Ismail Mohammed, while attempting to stop hoodlums who were causing mayhem in Samaru, Zaria in Kaduna State on Tuesday. This is contained in a statement by the Director, Army Public Relations, Major General Onyema Nwachukwu, on Wednesday in Abuja. Nwachukwu said the troops received a distress call that some hoodlums gathered in Samaru area of Zaria in large numbers, burning tires on the road and pelting stones on security personnel. He said the troops immediately mobilized and arrived at the scene to disperse the mob and enforce the curfew imposed by the state government. On arrival at the scene, the hoodlums brazenly attempted attacking the troops, prompting a soldier to fire a warning shot to scare the hoodlums away, which unfortunately led to the death of a 16-year-old boy, Ismail Mohammed. The soldier involved has since been arrested and undergoing interrogation as of the time of this report, he said. Nwachukwu said the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, was saddened by the unfortunate incident. He said the COAS had sent a high-powered delegation led by the General Officer Commanding 1 Division, Major General Landa Soranso, to visit and condole with the family of the deceased. According to him, the deceased was buried according to Islamic rites, with senior military officers of the Nigerian army in attendance. Still talking security agencies in Nigeria have called for calm and dialogue amidst the nationwide protests which began on August 1, 2024 in various states across the country. Speaking on the latest security developments in the country, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, at a press conference with heads of security agencies on Tuesday in Abuja, Nigeria's capital, vowed not to allow enemies to disturb the peace and territorial integrity of the country. Let's now join Clearview's defense correspondent for details. The hashtag End Bad Governance protest in Nigeria is currently the most discussed issue in the country. The past few days has placed the government in difficulty trying to ease the anger and frustration of citizens in relation to economic hardship, corruption and bad governance. Since August 1, thousands of Nigerians have taken to the streets, protesting and calling for key reforms while demanding accountability from its leaders. In the last 7 days of the protest, loss of lives, injuries, destruction of public and private properties, alleged external sponsorship and hijack of the protest by criminal elements have been reported. Meanwhile, the hashtag End Bad Governance protest took a new twist earlier this week as protesters in some northern states like Kano, Kaduna and Bauchi were seen clutching and holding up banners bearing the Russian flag. In the wake of growing tensions and concerns, heads of key security agencies in the country have converged at the defense headquarters in Abuja for an all-important press conference on latest developments in the country. With one voice, they have vowed to stop enemies from disturbing the peace and territorial integrity of the country, while urging Nigerians to tour the path of peace and dialogue in resolving the issues.
None of us here is happy to hear any Nigerian is injured for whatever reason. It's our duty to protect Nigerians. The only people we're after are those ones that don't mean us well, the enemies of the state. And anyone who makes himself an enemy of the state then will be ready to face the law. We're going to remain focused, committed. We're going to respect human rights, the rights of everyone who is lawfully performing his task or his duty, but we will not relent in pursuing those that have continued to encourage unconstitutional takeover of government or subversion, or those ones are into vandalism or destruction of lives and property. And we just want to make that very clear. We remain very professional. We have talked to our men outside in the field that they must respect the rights of everyone.
We still have in few states, in Kano, Kaduna, Katsina and Bauchi state, group of people who started subversive campaign, waving flags of other countries and openly calling for military takeover of government. This is not a protest, but an offense of treason. The Nigerian police has arrested a number of them, and they will be dealt with accordingly.
We are going to work very closely together to sustain and even, go above the present situation of the form of operation that security agencies are doing. From the core, we are ready. We are championing the cause of peace, trying to, educate Nigerians that there's no need for this protest, and that if you want to do protest, you do protest without violence.
I'd like to let Nigerians know that there has been a lot that is going on to address these issues that are related to ameliorate this situation through a mixture of fiscal policies of government and a number of strategic interventions from ministries, departments, and agencies of government. One of the things that I recall is the intervention through the distribution of strategic food items, which was released from the National Grain Reserves about a month ago. This was released to all states of the Federation. The places that we desire to go to live in, they are who they are because they obey laws, because they love their nations. People protest, but protest can also be of significant good if people adhere to the rules of engagement. In situations where protesters destroy public infrastructure, PIFA, loot, and undermine public peace, that definitely will not be tolerated.
Some of these sponsors, some of these people who are actually in diaspora, we have a number of them who are actually instigating this mayhem that we're seeing right now. What we've done is we've had them on our watch list, and they've been watch listed. We have them on our radars, and we're making sure that any attempt they make to come into the country will notify the necessary authority.
While promising to respect the fundamental human rights of citizens, the Nigerian military and other security agencies called on Nigerians to be patient as the government is working tirelessly to solve the lingering socio-economic challenges bedeviling the country. If you are just joining us, you're watching the news on Clearview News Desk. We will be back after this break. Stay with us. It is not the magnitude of our actions, but the amount of love that is put into them that matters. You're welcome back. Against the backdrop of high rates of mass atrocities in Nigeria, Global Rights, in partnership with the Community of Practice Against Mass Atrocities, have converged stakeholders in Abuja on a two-day national summit. The executive director of Cessor Empowerment Initiative said the essence of the two-day summit is to profile recommendations for policy makers, civil society actors, and other stakeholders on effective strategies for preventing and responding to violence and mass atrocities in Nigeria. Clearview News' Imifuno Okon was there and now tells us more.
Statistics from Global Rights have shown that at least 24,816 people have been killed and 15,597 kidnapped in mass atrocities in the past 5 years. With the theme, a standing responsibility to protect, the executive director of Cessor Empowerment Initiative, Jonathan Ekafa, said this year's summit, centered on human security, seeks to analyze the government's fulfillment of its responsibility to protect citizens, as well as examine policy innovations for monitoring, preventing, and mitigating mass atrocities in the country.
Nigeria is really at a crossroads, and we have an existentialist crisis, and this summit is here to share those experiences, to talk about those things, to delve deeply into the issues. We have issues of displacement. How can we stop these violent attacks? How can we deal with terror attacks and also support victims who are going through trauma? So we expect that we'll be able to prefer more solutions, find a way to engage. Thankfully, we have partners. We've had some government agencies speak here as you saw them today, and we can really engage and really begin to prefer more solutions and continue to prefer solutions for policymakers, government actors, but more than that, galvanize ourselves to even more action and keep on pushing until we want the country, we see the country that we want.
With the persisting mass atrocities in Nigeria, the Executive Secretary of National Human Rights Commission, Anthony Ojukwu, and the Executive Director of Civic Society Legislative Advocacy Center, Rafsanjani Awal, said the summit will address key areas and make recommendations to governments.
We have condemned unequivocally the violation of the human rights of innocent protesters and journalists who have a constitutional duty to cover these protests. They are not supposed to be injured. They are not supposed to be violated. They are not supposed to be trampled upon. They are not supposed to be intimidated. They are doing their constitutional duty. Just like law enforcement agents are also constitutionally empowered to protect them. So we condemn it in its entirety, and we have said so. And what we are going to do is that the commission is going to investigate all these complaints. We have asked that members of the community, members of the society, who have credible information on how these things happen, because you cannot conduct an inquiry or an investigation in vacuum. You must get credible information, facts and figures. Like yesterday, I saw a video clip of where a law enforcement agent was shooting a protester. After the guy had been beaten, he was lying on the floor. He could have arrested him. He could have prosecuted him. Why did he have to shoot him? We are investigating that now to find out who is this, where did this happen. The clip I got said it happened in Nazareth, but we are not sure. So we need to investigate that and try and find out who are the law enforcement agents behind that. So we need credible information on whoever has suffered any injustice, any violation during this process, so that we can do the needful.
What this summit can do is to help bring the attention to government, so that if government is not aware about the quantum or the large number of Nigerians that are on daily basis are facing atrocities either by state or non-state actors, it is a good opportunity for government to take careful analysis and review on bring out strategy that can curb or minimize the incidences that we are facing.
The Mass Atrocity Summit is a yearly event hosted by Global Right and its partners under the auspices of the Community of Practice Against Mass Atrocities, with the aim of addressing the causes and challenges posed by various forms of mass atrocities in Nigeria. Imefonokun, reporting for Clever News.
The creative industry has evolved from being the backbone of human expression. Today, the industry is not just a form of art, but a goldmine. With the rise of digital platforms, social media, and streaming services, the entertainment industry has transformed into a lucrative market, generating billions of dollars in revenue each year. From music and movies to video games and virtual events, the creative industry is not only a cultural powerhouse, but also a significant contributor to the global economy. Our correspondent spoke to an industry practitioner in a phone interview to tell us how one can be part of this industry that has become an income earner for all.
Breaking into the creative industry and achieving success requires dedication. It requires hard work. It requires willingness to continuously learn and adapt to it. The first one is identify your passion. When you identify your passion, know what you're good at. Now, the second one is define your niche. Focus on a specific area of expert. If you're good in filmmaking, if you're good in music, if you're good in comedy, just focus on a specific area of expert. Know your audience. Understand their interest. Pinpoint and what resonates with them. The fourth one is create high quality content videos. By the time you do so, invest in good writing, editing, visuals. Make sure your content is engaging. Make sure it's informative. Make sure it's valuable to your audience. The fourth one is be consistent. Be consistent in your post. Be regular posting keeps your audience engaged and coming back for more. While a formal education can be beneficial, it is not necessarily a requirement to become a content creator. Many successful content creators today have learned through online resources, workshops. Most of them have hands-on experience. Having a degree in a related field like writing, communication, or media can be is a very good advantage too. On the financial aspect, starting a content creating journey doesn't necessarily require a loan or a large amount of money. You can start with basic equipment like smartphone cameras, free editing software, can get you started. Of course, yes, online platform, utilize free or low-cost platforms like social media, blogs, and YouTube. Of course, all those things are going to help you. You don't don't need to be that financial buoyant to do it. Creativity and hard work. Focus on producing high quality content and engaging with your audience. However, as you grow, you may need to invest in better equipment, high quality cameras, microphones, and editing software. I remember when I started content creating. Before then, I'm an actor. I work with many producers in the Nollywood and all that. But at the point, I said to myself, no, let me just do this. Syntax, you can do this. The time you waste with people, you spend hours and you come back home with peanuts. Then one morning, I said, let me just open my own page, my own YouTube channel. Since I'm good in telling stories, I'm good in writing, I'm good in editing and all that. That was how I started. Now, today I have thousands of subscribers. And today my page is monetized. You get, so it's not easy. There were so many ups and downs. I remember I started with phone camera and all that. I edit with free apps and all that. I do it. But today, God has been faithful. So if you are upcoming content creator or in the industry, to be a content creator is not easy. It's not easy to create content. What you have to do is be focused, know what you want, and trust me, the sky will be your limit.
The entertainment industry has undergone a significant transformation in recent years, driven by technological advancements and changing consumer habits. Streaming services have revolutionized the way we consume movies and TV shows, while music platforms have also become a major boost for the music industry. The rise of exports and visual events has also opened up new avenues for creatives and entrepreneurs to earn. In Nigeria, the industry's growth is largely driven by the emergence of skit makers, content creators, and social media influencers. Platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube have democratized content creation, allowing talented individuals to showcase their skills and build massive followings. The monetization of content has also become a significant driver of the industry's growth. Brands are increasingly recognizing the values of partnering with social media influencers and content creators to reach their target audiences. This has led to a surge in sponsored content, product placements, and affiliate marketing and followings, allowing them to monetize their content, all from the comforts of their own homes. Eunice Ella is reporting for Clever News Desk.
And that's the news. But before we go, a recap of the top stories. The Nigerian army has detained a soldier who killed a 16-year-old boy, Ismail Mohammed, while attempting to stop hoodlums who were causing mayhem in Samaru Zaria in Kaduna State on Tuesday. ECOWAS 42nd Ordinary Meeting of Defense Chiefs has officially kicked off this Wednesday at the Defense Headquarters in Abuja, the nation's capital. We also told you that Nigeria's chances of grabbing a medal at the ongoing Paris Olympics has received a boost as World Athletics record holder Tobi Amusan wins her heat in a time of 12.49 seconds to qualify for the semi-finals. You can follow up on latest events and happenings around you via our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Clearview News Desk or via our handle on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Clearview Online. Many thanks for joining us. I am Gloria Atta. Bye for now.